Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Mangesh Doshi. This is the sixth lecture of the series of lecture on chromatography. In this particular lectures, we will learn a thin layer chromatography. Friends, thin layer chromatography, that is a TLC, is widely used in academic laboratory as well as in research laboratory also. It is a kind of adsorption chromatography. The chromatography using a thin layer of adsorbent spread over the glass plate, aluminum plate and plastic plate. It's called as thin layer chromatography. So TLC, it's a adsorption type of chromatography. In this chromatography, solid is a stationary phase while liquid it acts as a mobile phase. Whatever the solid is formed a thin layer on the glass plate, aluminum plate or plastic plate. That's why this is called as a thin layer chromatography. In this particular chromatography, mobile phase is liquid, that is a solvent. That may be a mixture of solvent, mixture of 2-3 solvents, or that depends upon the polarity. Stationary phase is a thin layer of finely divided, that is small particles of adsorbent on the plate. The particle size of that adsorbent is around 5 to 50 millimicron. So in this way, liquid is a mobile phase while solid is a stationary phase. The solid is in the finely divided particles, means the particle size is very small, that is around 5 to 50 millimicron, that will be adsorbed on the some plates like glass plate, aluminum plate or plastic plate. An adsorbent can be a ion exchanger, a molecular sieve, or acts as a support for a liquid film, or most commonly silica gel, alumina, powder, cellulose. So these are the types of solid materials which acts as a thin layer, which we are using as a thin layer. That may be ion exchangers, that may be molecular sieves, acts as a support for the liquid. So in that case, TLC is acts as a partition type of chromatography, while most commonly that is silica gel, alumina and powder cellulose can be used as a solid stationary phase. So this can be a adsorption type of chromatography. So TLC can be a adsorption type of chromatography or can be a partition type of chromatography, but mostly solid is a stationary phase. That's why this is the adsorption type of chromatography. The solid adsorbent adhere to a plate due to the addition of binding agents like calcium sulfate and plaster of Paris. Whatever this solid stationary phase, that should be adhered on the plates like glass plate, aluminum or plastic. So for that purpose we have to add some external agents. Those external agents are called as the binding agent. So those binding agents are like calcium sulfate or plaster of Paris, that is gypsum. The glass plate having a thin uniform layer of the finely divided adsorbent on it is called as chromatoplate. So whatever the plate which be formed after the formation of thin layer on the surface of that plate is called as chromatoplate. Now how to prepare the chromatoplate? We'll see the procedure for the preparation of chromatoplate. The plate having a thin uniform layer of the finely divided solid on it is called as chromatoplate. The plate may be a glass, aluminum or plastic. The aqueous slurry of the powder is prepared. It's not aqueous actually. The slurry of the powder is prepared in some volatile solvent, some volatile solution, or suitable binders. So binders are required to adhere this solid stationary phase on the plate. So you have to add a binder like plaster of Paris, gypsum, that is calcium sulfate, or polyvinyl alcohol is added to the solid, so that holds the solid on the plate. The thickness of the film is around the range 0.1 to 0.3 mm. So it should not be very thin or it should not be very thick. The plate is dried to evaporate the solvent and heated it in oven, that is 110 degrees Celsius, to activate the adsorbent. Ready-made chromatoplates of aluminum are available into the market. So whatever the thin film we are going to generate by using this slurry, whatever we are preparing into the volatile solvent, and by using the plaster of Paris, that thin film should be generated on the plate, whatever we are using for the TLC. मार्केटमध्ये एक TLC जनरेटर पण येतात की जेणेकरून तुम्ही थिन लेअर तयार करू शकतात. स्लरी घ्यायची, ग्लास प्लेटवर टाकायची आणि जस्ट ओढायचं. जसं आपण कलर देतो भिंतीला तसं ओढायची त्याच्यावर, म्हणजे एक थिन फिल्म तयार होते युनिफॉर्म. Apart from that one, various chromatoplates are available into the market. Various companies are selling on that in this. Various companies are preparing these chromatoplates like on aluminium, on the plastic plates. So on aluminium plates, a thin layer of silica gel is binded on it, that is available into the market. म्हणजे तुम्ही डायरेक्ट मार्केटमधून पण TLC प्लेट्स खरेदी करू शकता, किंवा आपण प्रॅक्टिकलमध्ये वापरतोच. एक स्लाईड घेतो, स्लाईडवर सिलिका जेलची स्लरी बनवतो आपण कार्बन टेट्राक्लोराईडमध्ये किंवा क्लोरोफॉर्ममध्ये, आणि त्याची स्लरी अशी स्प्रेड करतो, किंवा बीकरमध्ये ती स्लरी बनवतो आणि त्याच्यात ती आपली जी प्लेट असते ग्लास प्लेट ती डीप करतो आणि वरती काढतो. म्हणजे काय होतं की त्याचं जे लेअर तयार होते त्या ग्लास प्लेटवर, अँड दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज thin layer, and that is called as chromatoplate. The alumina is used for the separation of weakly polar compounds, but silica gel is used for the polar compounds such as amino acids. So alumina is a solid support on the glass plate or plastic plate that can be used for the polar compounds, while silica gel can be used for the polar compounds such as amino acids. But in generally, silica gel is used in for the chromatographic technique. So in this way, see here how to generate the chromatoplate. So this is the slurry prepared into the beaker by using silica gel or whatever the solid material on which we had to generate a slurry. So solid material घ्यायचं, that can be silica gel, plaster, त्याच्यात बाइंडर टाकायचं, प्लास्टर ऑफ पॅरिस किंवा जिप्सम वगैरे. जनरली आता ज्या सिलिका जेल येतात त्याच्यात बाइंडर ऑलरेडी टाकलेलं असतात, त्याच्यामुळे सध्या आपल्याला टाकायची गरज नसते. लॅबोरेटरीमध्ये आपण बाइंडर टाकत नाही, कारण व्हॉट एव्हर द सॉलिड मटेरियल इज प्रोव्हाइडेड टू अस फॉर द TLC दॅट ऑलरेडी कंटेन अ बाइंडर्स नाउअडेज. या प्रकारे स्लरी तयार करायची बीकरमध्ये आणि अशी ग्लास प्लेट इथून पकडायची आणि त्यामध्ये डीप करायची. सो इन दिस वे द लेअर विल फॉर्म ऑन दिस TLC प्लेट. ही लेअर दोन्ही साईडने होते, पुढून आणि मागून पण. एकच साईड आपल्याला ठेवायची, बाकी रफ करून टाकायची. नाउ व्हॉट आर द टाइप्स ऑफ थिन लेअर क्रोमॅटोग्राफी TLC? द थिन लेअर क्रोमॅटोग्राफी कॅन बी डिवायडेड इंटू 4 टाइप्स ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ नेचर ऑफ सबस्टन्स विच इज यूज्ड फॉर द थिन लेअर. आपण जे काही सबस्टन्स यूज करतो थिन लेअर तयार करण्यासाठी, अकॉर्डिंग टू दॅट this chromatographic technique is divided into 4 classes. Their uses are also different, so this classification is required. Adsorption thin layer chromatography. Second one is liquid partition thin layer chromatography. Third one is ion exchange thin layer chromatography, and fourth one is size exclusion thin layer chromatography. Now next slide we will learn one by one how they ते कसे तयार करायचे आणि त्याचे ॲप्लिकेशन्स काय. Because according to these solid materials, substances which are form a thin layer on the plates, their uses are also different. First we will see adsorption thin layer chromatography. So adsorption thin layer chromatography, the most commonly used stationary phases of adsorbent, that is silica gel, alumina and powder cellulose are the most commonly used as a adsorbent. So these are the materials can be used for the as an adsorbent for this thin layer chromatography. That's why this type of chromatography is called as adsorption thin layer chromatography. So in this case, this acts as a stationary phase while a mobile phase is a liquid. So this is the adsorption thin layer chromatography. So in that case, we can use a silica gel as an adsorbent. So silica gel particles contains hydroxyl group, OH groups on their surface and forms a hydrogen bond with the polar molecules. The silica gel chromatoplate is activated by heating 110 degrees Celsius in an oven for many hours to remove the adsorbed water. So this is the adsorption type of chromatography. So whatever the adsorbed water, moisture on that silica gel, on that solid surface is not required. So if that is there, then it acts as a partition type of chromatography. Whatever the adsorbed water, moisture, it acts as a liquid stationary phase. That's why we have to remove that one. For that purpose, we have to heat the silica gel plate TLC in a oven so that that moisture should be removed, and this acts as a solid stationary phase. Right. So adsorbed water prevents the adsorption of the polar molecules and hence decreases the efficiency of the separation. So whatever the adsorption water is there, that forms a hydrogen bond with the polar molecules. So efficiency of the separation on TLC will decreases. For that purpose, we have to activate the silica gel plates by heating into the oven. Second stationary phase is alumina. So it contains a hydroxyl group again or oxygen atoms on the surface. Generally, alumina is used for the separation of weakly polar compounds, while silica gel is used for the separation of polar compounds such as amino acids and sugars. So this is the particular type of use for this alumina, but in generally nowadays we are using a silica gel TLC only. Only in exceptional cases we are going for another solid adsorbents. Other adsorbents like such as charcoal, activated charcoal or magnesium silicate or calcium silicate can be used for the TLC according to what is the use. So these are the solid stationary phases. That's why this type of chromatography is called as adsorption thin layer chromatography. इथे जे जे काही ॲडसॉर्बंट वापरतो आपण, सिलिका जेल असेल, ॲल्युमिना असेल, पावडर सेल्युलोज असेल किंवा हे सॉल्ट्स असेल, मॅग्नेशियम सिलिकेट, calcium silicate, activated charcoal. So this acts as a solid stationary phase. That's why this type of chromatography is called as adsorption thin layer chromatography. Now next we will see a liquid partition thin layer chromatography. So in this case TLC it acts as a partition type of chromatography. In this case liquid it acts as a stationary phase as well as liquid it acts as a mobile phase as well. So in this type stationary phases and liquid phases are liquids. In this case the adsorbed or residual water of the slurry it acts as a stationary phase and hence chromatograph is not activated by heating. So in this case whatever the adsorbed water, absorbed water or whatever the moisture present on that slurry it acts as a stationary phase. That's why this chromatoplate should not be heated into the oven. That residual water must be as it is because it acts as a liquid stationary phase. The thin layer, whatever the thin film of the water supported by this such silica gel or diatomaceous earth acts as a stationary phase. So whatever the adsorbed water, moisture on this silica gel, that is solid stationary phase, the solid inert supportive material. So in this case silica gel, diatomaceous earth, it acts as a inert solid support for the liquid stationary phase. So silica gel is not a stationary phase in liquid partition TLC. So this is the difference. In this case water, what is the adsorbed water, absorbed water or moisture which is present on the surface of the silica gel, it acts as a mobile phase, while silica gel, diatomaceous earth, it acts as a inert solid support medium for the liquid stationary phase. This is similar to the column chromatography and hence this type of TLC is called as open column chromatography. So this is the open column chromatography. TLC can be called as open column chromatography because the principle is same for the TLC as well as column chromatography. Now we'll see ion exchange thin layer chromatography. So already we learned ion exchange chromatography. So that is a column chromatography, but in this case whatever the ion exchanges, we have to form a thin layer of that ion exchanges on the plate. That's why this is called as ion exchange thin layer chromatography. Principles and applications are same as a ion exchange chromatography, only these exchangers are binded on the plate. That's why this is called as ion exchange thin layer chromatography. So in this type ion exchange reagents are used for the preparation of thin layer plates. The particle size of resin is in the range of 40 to 80 millimicron, that we know. For example, already we learned this type of resins, types of ion exchangers. So those are of two types, as we know, that strong acid cation resins, so they exchanges the cations, while strong base anion resins or exchanges that exchanges the anions from the exchangers, that is a solid stationary phase, and the mobile phase, that is liquid mobile phase. This is again adsorption type of chromatography. So in that case, suppose a strong acid cation exchanges, then the commercially available Dovex 50W that contains a sulfonic acid functional group, or sulfonic acid, sodium salt of sulfonic acid. So that can be used for the exchange of cations from the solution which contains a mixture of ions to be separated. While strong base anion exchangers contains Dovex1. These are the commercially available strong base anion exchangers that contains a quaternary ammonium chloride salt or hydroxide salts to exchange the anions from the mixture which is present into the solution or mobile phase. The layer of 0.2 to 0.3 mm thickness of the resin is obtained by spreading the slurry of 6 parts of the resin and 1 part of the cellulose powder. So for that purpose we had to make a slurry, that is 6:1 portion of resin plus cellulose. Cellulose powder is just acts as a binder, so that this resin binds on the plates. So take a plate, take a solution of resin, cellulose slurry, and that's spread by using a commercially available spreader on that glass plate or aluminum plate, and make that thin film that is called as chromatic plate. Next is a size exclusion thin layer chromatography. So size exclusion thin layer chromatography, in that case superfine Cephadix is used for the preparation of chromatograph plate. So in this case we have to use a small fine particles of the Cephadix. The gel is first soaked in water for about 4 days to complete swelling and then spread on the plate. So before that one, the Cephadix is the type of gel, so we have to soak into the water, so that will be swelled, and then it's spread on the plates by using a spreader. The plates are not dried but kept wet, because whatever the pores present on these gels, that is Solon gels, that acts as a size exclusion chromatography. For that purpose we should not dry that plate. As compared to the other thin layers, the capillary actions of these molecular sieves is very slow, because in this case what are the smaller particles or smaller compounds, smaller size components are inserting into the pores of this gel, and that mobile phase is required for removing that one. So it required a long time. That's why the capillary action of this molecular sieves is very slow. Hence the development time is about 8 to 10 hours, depending upon again size of the plates, amount of the sample, while for other types of stationary phase it is around 25 minutes only. This is about the stationary phases. Now we will learn what are the mobile phases which are used in TLC phases. So that depends upon again which type of stationary phase is there, but the mobile phase in TLC is mostly generally liquid only. A single solvent or mixture of 2 or 3 solvents can be used. The mobile liquid phase is called as developing solvent because it develops a chromatogram. A series of spots will appear on the TLC. That's why this is called as developing solvent. Usually mixed solvents gives better separation of the complex mixture. if the RF values difference within the component is very small, then we have to manage a polarity of the solvent by adding one or more solvents together. The selection of the developing solvent in a TLC is nearly similar to the column chromatography. So already we have seen in column chromatography. The developing solvent must be pure and should not contain a traces of water or other impurities. That is obvious that solvent must be clean, because this is the analytical technique. In analytical techniques, whatever we are going to use, a solvents, instruments and all those things, that should be pure and standardized, that should not contain any impurities. Otherwise, irreproducible chromatograms are obtained. These chromatograms are reproducible. As the conditions you are maintaining the constants, it will give you a same chromatogram. That's why whatever the RF values are same in particular solvent mixture. For that purpose, this is the TLC is the character. RF values of this TLC are the characteristic property for that particular substance. That's why whatever the mixture of solvents or mixture or solvents, we have to note down while reporting the data. Now we'll see development of chromatogram. How to develop the chromatogram. The technique of development in a TLC is nearly similar to that for the paper chromatography. In just last lecture we have seen how to generate a chromatogram on paper chromatography. So this is the similar technique, that is TLC. The mixture to be separated is applied to the plate in a form of very small spot. A fine glass capillary is used for the application. The capillary is not allowed to touch on adsorbent, otherwise a hole will result due to detachment of the adsorbent. So while preparation of this chromatogram or TLC plate, what we have to do, take up appropriate size TLC plate, that is thin layer chromatograph or chromatoplate, make a sample solution in appropriate volatile solvent. That sample should be very dilute. Take a fine capillary and spot the sample in the form of solution to the chromatographic plate or chromatoplate at the one side. करताना सेम आपण जसं पेपर क्रोमॅटोग्राफीमध्ये केलं की 0.5 सेंटीमीटर च्या वरती आपण इमॅजिनरी लाईन करायची, याच्यात लाईन मारायची नाही. जसं आपण पेपर क्रोमॅटोग्राफीमध्ये पेन्सिलने मार्क करतो लाईन, बरोबर, याच्यामध्ये तसं करायचं नाही, कारण याच्यावरचं जो सॉलिड मटेरियल, जी सॉलिड स्टेशनरी फेज आहे ती डिटॅच होऊ शकते अँड दॅट विल गिव्ह यू अ फॉल्टी रिझल्ट, किंवा ते TLC रिझल्ट देणार. म्हणून काय करायचं, जस्ट वरच्या वरती आणि कॅपिलरी ॲक्शननुसार और ॲब्सॉर्प्शननुसार त्या ॲब्सॉर्बंट काय करेल, सॅम्पल ॲब्झॉर्ब करेल, त्याला टच करायचं, जस्ट वरच्यावर टच करायचं, एकदम प्लेटपर्यंत जाईल किंवा त्या ॲल्युमिनियम प्लेटपर्यंत जाईल किंवा त्या ग्लास प्लेटपर्यंत जाईल अशी TLC अशी कॅपिलरी त्याला लावायची नाही. So in this way, so this is the fine capillary, this is the commercially available chromatoplate, aluminum plate, where silica gel is adsorbed on this chromatographic plate. So we should not draw this line, this is a wrong method, it's just an imaginary line. You can mark over here, for that one it will be fine, but don't draw this line, this is a wrong process. And use a fine capillary. So this spot should be very small, that is around 1 to 2 mm diameter only, because for efficient separation of the components which are present into the mixture. So in this way, this distance should be around 0.5 centimeter and this spot's diameter is around 1 to 2 diameter, 1 to 2 mm only. The sample spot should be 1 to 2 mm in diameter. Typically, sample size range from 10 to 100 microgram per spot. So concentration needed is very small, that is 10 to 100 microgram only. Then only fine separation will be there. the spot is at the lower end and should not dip into the solvent. ज्यावेळेस ही क्रोमॅटोग्राफ प्लेट आपण तयार करतो त्याच्यानंतर काय करायचं, एक बीकर किंवा कंटेनर किंवा टँक घ्यायची अकॉर्डिंग टू द साइज ऑफ द TLC प्लेट, chromato plate, and take a appropriate solvent according to the polarity, appropriate solvent mixture according to the polarity which is required for the TLC. त्याची हाईट किती घ्यायची, आता आपलं स्पॉटिंग किटपर्यंत दिलं 0.5 सेंटीमीटरपर्यंत. त्याची सॉल्वंटचा जो लेअर असेल, सॉल्वंट आपण जे बीकरमध्ये घेऊ किंवा टँकमध्ये घेऊ, त्याची हाईट ही 0.5 सेंटीमीटरपेक्षा कमी पाहिजे. म्हणजे वॉट एव्हर द स्पॉट which is present on the TLC that should not be dipped into the solvent. Otherwise ते स्पॉटमधले कॉम्पोनंट सगळे सॉल्वंटमध्ये डिझॉल्व होतील आणि TLC आपल्याला भेटणार नाही. द टँक इज सॅच्युरेटेड विथ द वेपर्स ऑफ द सॉल्वंट. त्यासाठी काय करायचं, फॉर दॅट पर्पज वी हॅड टू क्लोज द चेंबर टँक और वॉट एव्हर द बीकर वी आर युजिंग फॉर द TLC, ती क्लोज करायची. म्हणजे काय, आपलं सॉल्वंट वोलाटाईल असेल, वोलाटाईल त्याचे वेपर्स तयार होतील, त्या वेपर्स बाहेर जाणार नाही आणि पूर्ण आतमधल्या जो ॲटमॉस्फिअर असेल ते सॉल्वंट वेपर्सचं असेल. दॅट इज युजफुल फॉर द मूव्हिंग ऑफ द सॉल्वंट्स ऑन TLC. We can use a small paper, that is filter paper, in that chamber also. In the vertical position, the mobile phase moves slowly up the plate under the influence of capillary action. Solvent खालून वरती जातं in opposite direction to the gravitational force. That's why it moves very slowly. See in this case, या प्रकारे तुम्हाला ॲडजस्टमेंट करायचे असते. This is the TLC plate where this white is a silica gel. This is a aluminum plate. हे सॉल्वंट एक कंटेनर किंवा टँक आपण ज्याला म्हणू, इथे स्पॉटिंग केलेली आपण. त्या स्पॉटिंगच्या खाली ही लेअर आली पाहिजे. हे स्पॉट त्यात डीप व्हायला नको आहे, राईट. दिस फिल्टर पेपर, हा पाठीमागे फिल्टर पेपर वापरला बघा. सो व्हॉट विल हॅपन, दिस सॉल्वंट इज ॲब्झॉर्ब्ड बाय दिस फिल्टर पेपर सो दॅट द कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ऑफ द वेपर्स इन अ कंटेनर विल गेट increased. Solvent is moving on the surface of this TLC plate by capillary action. This solvent should run up to appropriate height only. It should not be overrun. हे जे TLC प्लेट इथे मार्जिन आहे तर त्याच्या थोडंसं कमी म्हणजे 0.5 सेंटीमीटर कमी इथपर्यंत सॉल्वंट रन होऊ द्यायचं. जिथपर्यंत सॉल्वंट रन झालं तिथे मार्क करा पेन्सिलने, स्मॉल मार्क. सो दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज अ सॉल्वंट फ्रंट. So in this way you had to develop a chromatogram in a laboratory. So after that the position of the solvent front is marked and the plate is dried by hair dryer. एकदा मार्क केलं की बाहेर काढा TLC आणि ती ड्राय होऊ द्या by using hair dryer or oven. The development of generally more rapid and taking place around 10 to 15 minutes less than the paper chromatography. So this is the faster method than the paper chromatography and this is the easier method for the handling. For that purpose this is the better method as compared to the paper chromatography. Now how to detect the spots, friends. Some of the components are colored components, so we can see that colored components after development of chromatogram. We can see that spots actually by naked eyes, but most of the compounds are colorless. So for that purpose identification of the position of that spots for the particular components we have to identify by using some methods, and that is called as detection of the spots. So it is easy to locate the position of the colored components but difficult to locate the colorless components on the chromatoplate. For that purpose we have to use various methods. So those methods are classified into two classes. First one is physical method and second one is chemical method. And the position of the components having a property to fluorescence, usually aromatic or unsaturated organic compounds, can be located by observing the developed plate under the ultraviolet lamp. So whatever the plate dried and then put into the ultraviolet, put in a light of ultraviolet lamp. So what will happen? Whatever the unsaturated compounds or aromatic compounds that absorbs the ultraviolet rays and appears as a black spot. So we can mark that spots by our pencil. So that is the location of spots. Whereas aliphatic compounds are not seen under these lights. So for that purpose we have to use another techniques, that is called as chemical methods. Non-fluorescent compounds can be detected by using a thin layer chromatographic plate containing a fluorescent indicator in the powdered absorbent. So if the non-fluorescent compounds are there, so we can use a special type of thin layer chromatography. In that, fluorescent indicator can be used as a powdered absorbent. While some chemicals methods are there, like use of iodine, use of sulfuric acid and other chemical reagents, for example ninhydrin reagents for the amino acid solutions, acid base indicators can be used for the acids as well as bases. So these are the some chemical methods for the detection of spots. For example, use of iodine. If we are using iodine, then same container whatever we have used in TLC to generate the chromatogram. In that case, instead of solvent, just use crystals of iodine and that put that dry TLC plate into that one. So what iodine vapors will absorb on the components of the mixture and that brown spot will appear on the TLC. So we can mark by using the pencil. Use of sulfuric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid, most of the organic compounds dehydrated by this concentrated sulfuric acid and seen by as a black spot. So like sugars or sugary compounds, we can use this sulfuric acid. Most of the reagents like anisaldehyde we can use for the aldehydes or ketones such as carbonyl compounds. So anisaldehyde used for most of the compounds and it gives different colors with different compounds, so we can identify very easily. Similarly for amino acid separation we can use a ninhydrin solution, so that gives some pink or purple color spots for the particular amino acids. So in this way we can use various chemicals. These chemicals reagents can be in solid, liquid or gaseous forms. If that is liquid, then we have to spray on it that one. If that is solid, we have to make a solution in particular solvent, then we have to apply as a solution. Now after spotting, after the location of the spots, we have to do the qualitative analysis of the components. So RF values, this is the term, RF values for the substances. RF is defined as the ratio of distance traveled by the substance, that is component, from the origin to the substance traveled by the moving solvent. So RF value, that is retardation factor, that is the ratio of distance traveled by the substance to the distance traveled by the mobile phase, that is solvent. So this is the formula, RF value is equal to distance traveled by the substance divided by distance traveled by the solvent. Suppose this is the developed chromatogram and we have spotted this spots for particular components. So this is the spot where we put a solute or mixture over here in the form of solution, and this is the solvent front we have marked while developing the chromatogram. So whatever this distance from the spot of the components or substance or mixture, from that one we have to measure a distance to this solvent front, and this is called as distance traveled by the solvent. सॉल्व्हेंटच्या लेअरपासून नाही मोजायचं, जिथं आपण स्पॉट दिला होता तिथून तर जिथपर्यंत सॉल्व्हेंट रन केलं तिथपर्यंत डिस्टन्स मोजायचं बाय युजिंग अवर स्केल. सो दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज डिस्टन्स ट्रॅव्हल बाय द सॉल्व्हेंट फ्रंट. Okay, and for particular substance or particular spot, suppose we had to determine the RF value for this blue spot, blue component. So what you do, जिथे स्पॉट दिला तिथूनच आणि इथपर्यंत मोजायचं, याच्या मिडल, याच्या टॉप पण नाही बॉटम पण नाही, याच्या मिडलपर्यंत मोजायचं, सेंटर ऑफ दिस स्पॉट. Center from this spot to this spot, this distance is measured in centimeters, so that is 8 centimeter. So 8 by 10, that will be 0.8. What is the unit for this RF value? So So this is the ratio of distances. So centimeter of the substance divided by centimeter of the solvent, that will get cancelled. So RF value, that is the unitless quantity. RF value is expressed the relative rates of movements of the substance and solvent under the constant experimental condition in a given chromatographic system. The ratio of movements of any substance related to the movement of the developing solvent is constant. So for constant system, the RF value is constant for the particular components. That's why this is the characteristic property for a particular substance. It's like a melting point or boiling point. जसं मेल्टिंग पॉईंट आणि बॉइलिंग पॉईंट सबस्टन्सचे फिक्स असतात, तशी आर एफ व्हॅल्यू सुद्धा फिक्स असते अंडर द कॉन्स्टंट सिस्टीम. That's why this can be used for the qualitative detection of the substances, because RF value is a characteristic property for the particular substance. Now what are the applications of thin layer chromatography? Thin layer chromatography is used to detect the analyzed mixture of terpenes, terpenoids, oils, vitamins, chlorophylls, steroids, etc. So all the organic compounds, natural products we can use for the separations, for the analysis of the components. Clinically, TLC is used for the identification of sugar in urine. So this method can be used for the identification of the sugars in urine sample. In forensic science, TLC is used for detection of poisons, metal ions, drugs in a body fluids. So whatever the viscera is present, that can be if you do the TLC for particular sample, then we can identify the poisons, metal ions, drugs, or in a body fluids which are there by comparing the standard values. TLC is used in a routine synthetic chemistry to check the preparation and purity of the organic compounds and to monitor the reactions. So in organic chemistry or in chemistry, in research laboratory as well as industry, this can be used to check the reactions or to monitor the reactions, how much reaction is proceeded, right? So this can be used for the monitor the reaction or to check the purity. Suppose one sample is there, if you spot if you do the TLC, and if you are getting only one spot, that component is pure. If you are getting more than one spot, it means that this sample contains a more than one compound, so some impurities are present. So we can detect the percentage of purity also of that sample. Similarly, TLC can be used to monitor our column chromatography also, because whatever the eluents, whatever the allocates we have collected at the end of column chromatography, we have to check in which aliquot the components are present. For that purpose, we have to use the TLC method. So that is the fast method for the identification or to monitor the column chromatography. So in this way, TLC is very useful in regular laboratories, in our laboratories as well as research laboratories, in industry also. Why TLC is superior to the paper chromatography? As earlier we have seen that TLC is a faster method than the paper chromatography. This is the advantage, as well as paper chromatography, handling of paper is somewhat difficult rather than the TLC plate, that is thin layer chromatographic plate. So we'll see what are the advantages. So it gives very sharp and clear cut separation. So as compared to the paper chromatography, spreading is not there in TLC. That's why it gives very sharp and clear cut separation. It can be used in organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, biochemistry as well as pharmaceutical laboratories, while some limitations with the paper chromatography. This is faster than the paper chromatography since it requires short development time. So that time is depends upon the sample and quantity, but it's okay. But this is the faster as compared to the paper chromatography. It can be used for the separation and identification of the components of mixture on very small scale very quickly. So as earlier we have seen that the sample requirement is very small, that is in millimicron or microgram. So we can use to separate these components. Even we can use for the identification of the mixture of the components. It gives more reproducible RF values. The precision of RF values is higher as compared to the paper chromatography. Results are reproducible. That's why this is better than the paper chromatography. It can be used for adsorption, partition, ion exchange chromatography. That is a type of chromatography because wide choice of stationary phase on the plate. So whatever the solid support, whatever the solid stationary phase we are using, that has various options. Just we have seen in a types of chromatography there are 4 types. So if adsorption, small particles of silica gels and alumina, if you use that, is called as adsorption type of chromatography. But if we are using cellulose as well as then whatever the adsorbed water is there, that is acts as a stationary phase, then that is called as partition type of chromatography. If you are using gel as a solid stationary phase, then that is called as size exclusion chromatography. If you are using resin for exchange of ions, then that is called as ion exchange chromatography. So we have a choice to choose the stationary phase. According to that, various types of paper TLCs are there. This is the better advantage rather than paper chromatography. In paper chromatography, paper is the only stationary phase. So this is why the TLC is superior to the paper chromatography. Now we'll see what are the advantages of all these chromatographic methods. Whatever we have learned in these 6 lectures, what are the advantages? The individual amino acids resembles one another very closely in physical and chemical properties, but the separation of amino acids is fairly rapidly achieved by these chromatographic techniques. As we know that amino acids contains amine functional group and carboxylic acid functional group. For that, these physical properties as well as chemical properties of each amino acids are most similar, but the separation of these amino acids by using chemical methods is somewhat difficult. That's why this physical technique, that is chromatographic techniques, can be used for the separation of amino acid mixture. The technique of chromatography is extremely sensitive. Even the amount as little as 0.1 microgram of the compound can be detected by the common reagents. Thus, the chemistry of naturally occurring compounds can be elucidated, which is otherwise would have been very difficult and impossible for the elucidation. So for the structure determination of the compounds, unknown components, so whatever we are isolating from the natural sources, so the amount of the substance which is isolated from the natural sources, it is very less. So for that purpose we required a proper method for the structure determination. So this technique is very good because sample requirement is very small. The apparatus required in the experiment of chromatography is very simple. Just we have seen in the development of chromatogram, the apparatus is very simple. The container is just a beaker, lid, and like that. Ordinary temperature at which the technique of chromatography is used effectively. So at normal temperature we can use this chromatographic techniques in one of the greatest asset of this method. So this method is able to detect even a small traces of impurities in a substance and estimate its amount. So this can be used for qualitative analysis as well as quantitative analysis. So very small amount, whatever the trace amount in microgram or like that sample also, we can separate it out and we can identify that compound and we can estimate its amount also. समजा TLC असेल तर जिथं जो स्पॉट भेटला ना तिथली सिलिका जेल काढून घ्यायची, बरोबर. सिलिका जेल काढली की त्याच्यात एखादा पोलर सॉल्व्हंट टाकायचं, लाईक इथेनॉल और मिथेनॉल, डिझॉल्व झाला, बरोबर. तर त्याच्यात तुम्ही डायरेक्ट स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपिक टेक्निक्सने त्याचं आयडेंटिफिकेशन करू शकतात. नाउ these are the advantages, but with that advantages some drawbacks of the chromatographic methods are there. We'll see that one. These methods are generally incomplete, irreversible, and resulting in poor separation and incomplete recovery of solids. So in sometimes this method is incomplete, irreversible. So whatever we are running the solvents over the stationary phase, then this is irreversible. So recovery of the solids becomes less. the adsorption in chromatography is dependent upon the physical state of the adsorbent material. It is difficult to reproduce the sample such adsorbent material with uniform properties. So, in adsorption chromatography, the substances may undergo chemical change in the adsorb plate or at any time during the process of adsorption or desorption. This means that method cannot be applied for those substances. For example, cis forms may be isomerized to the trans forms. So this is one of the drawback, but this is for rare compounds which contains very sensitive material. So this is one of the drawback. It may possible that whatever the compound is reacting with the our stationary phase or physical state or chemical state of the our solid will get changed. For example, cis isomer is converted to the trans, that is isomerization. It may be possible. Hydrolysis of material or oxidation of amino acids may take place. Forces which operates adsorption may be sufficient in such a case decompose the molecular complexes. So some of the organic compounds, inorganic compounds which are very sensitive for the atmospheric oxidation. So it may possible that oxidation of those compounds may happen because this is the open column chromatography. While in some cases hydrolysis of the materials, it may be possible. Suppose very sensitive functional groups are there that is sensitive for the water or moisture, then hydrolysis of such materials may be possible. So these are the drawbacks of chromatographic methods. Thank you friends, thank you for the watching. Keep watching these videos.